Science resource, complete this before class. Quiz instructions, explore, TP4, ecological succession. Before is a reading about changes that can occur within a community over time. There are a short set of review questions at the end to check your understanding. However, you will still have access to the text to help you locate and determine the best answer. You are allowed 3 attempts to the questions. You will get feedback on your responses and your highest score will be recorded. When you are finished with the review questions, proceed to the bottom right of the screen and click Next on Explore. That was kind of odd. Okay. Ecological succession. Communities are not usually static. The number and types of species that live in them generally change through time. This is called ecological succession. Important cases of succession are primary and secondary succession. Primary succession. Primary succession occurs in an area that has never been colonized. Generally, the area is nothing but bare rock. This type of environment can come about when lava flows from volcanoes and hardens into rock, a glacier retreats and leaves behind bare rock, and a landslide uncovers an area of bare rock. The first species to colonize a disturbed area such as this are called pioneer species. See the figure below. Ta-da! They change the environment and pave the way for other species to come into the area. Pioneer species are likely to include bacteria and lichens that can live on the bare rock. Along with the wind and water, they help weather the rock and form soil. Once soil begins to form, plants can move in. At first, the plants include grasses and other species that can grow in thin, poor soil. As more plants grow and die, organic matter is added to the soil. This improves the soil and helps it hold water. The improved soil allows shrubs and trees to move into the area. Primary succession. A new land from volcanic eruption is slowly being colonized by a pioneer species. Secondary succession. Secondary succession occurs in a formerly uninhabited area that was disturbed. The disturbance could be a fire, flood, or human action such as farming. This type of succession is faster because the soil is already in place. In this case, the pioneer species are plants such as grasses, birch trees, and fireweed. Organic matter from the pioneer species improves the soil. This lets other plants move into the area. An example of this type of succession is shown in the figure below. Secondary succession. 2 months after a forest fire, new plants are already sprouting among the charred logs. Climax communities. Many early ecologists thought that a community always goes through the same series of stages during succession. They also assume that succession always ends with a final stable stage. They call this stage the climax community. Today, most ecologists no longer hold these views. They believe that continued change is normal in most ecosystems. They think that most communities are disturbed too often to become climax communities. And then you have 3 questions to answer. I'll go ahead and read those. Question 1, blank are the first organisms to colonize an area and begin the process of ecological succession. Introductory organisms, primary organisms, foundational organisms, or pioneer organisms. Number 2, primary succession may evolve from what scenario? Glacier melts, deforestation to clear land for farming, accidental forest fire, or lava flows. And number 3, ecological blank is the change in population and diversity of different species present in an ecosystem over time. Succession, community, systems, or symbiosis.